I genuinely think we can win the league this season only if we get André and Hincapié in January. I don't know, Roger, why we didn't buy a defender. It bugs me, and it will come back to bite us in the ass. Now, I have my own theory around André, and it's not based off any inside information. It's just guesswork. I wonder if we do go back in and revisit André in January when it's a far more palatable time for Fluminense to sell, and look at him as the Thiago replacement then moving forward, because of course Thiago Alcantara's contract is up at the end of this season, as is Joel Matip. So I wonder, would that be the long-term, succession plan there? Bring André in and let Thiago leave the end of the season. This video is sponsored by Surfshark, the best VPN on the market. Surfshark is an app or browser extension that allows you to change your location to access websites in other countries and keep you safe and secure from hackers. Using Surfshark, we here in Ireland can access other countries' Netflix libraries or other streaming platforms like DAZN in Spain for all those important Premier League games. Surfshark keeps you safe and private by protecting everything you do online. Everything. When your device connects to the internet, all that information is, in a way, blurred out. Surfshark is particularly useful for keeping you safe from being hacked if you use public Wi-Fi. Let's say you're in a cafe, you're at college, you're out and about, they've got you covered. Surfshark allows you to use one subscription on unlimited devices, meaning you can share your account with friends or family or that neighbour who's a little bit cheap. On top of all of this, Surfshark offers a 30-day money-back guarantee. You can also upgrade to Surfshark One, which includes the VPN, an alert system for breaches related to your data, such as emails and credit cards, and an antivirus software for your desktop. Our sign-up offer gives you Surfshark VPN for a little over €2 a month, and you'll get an additional 3 months free. Simply scan the QR code on screen right now or use the link in the description and enter the code Anfield Agenda at checkout. I keep bringing my mind back to the Newcastle game where we were 1-0 down at like 70 minutes, and I remember sitting in the watch along thinking and saying, this is going to be 4 points out of a possible 9. And then we have a tricky game against Villa coming up. And I started to think worst case scenario. What if we lost to Newcastle and then we went on and even drew with Villa? I was thinking that's 5 points out of 12 then maybe. And we've a long way to catch up. But now we're sitting here, 10 points out of 12. All looking pretty decent. And I'm happy. Yeah, and we still haven't even seen Ryan Gravenberch take to the pitch yet. Do you know much about the rumours of a possible return of Julian Ward? So that rumour came from Chicken Boy. And by Chicken Boy I mean Indy Kayla, who also said that Liverpool were in talks with Michael Edwards over a return, but shock horror, he's not, because, as David Ornstein said yesterday, Michael Edwards is set for a return to sport by launching an advisory business with ex-Liverpool colleague Ian Graham. Edwards will be a non-executive director of Ian Graham's new company, Ludonautics, working for multiple ownership groups and clubs. So again, Chicken Boy taking a big dirty L on that one, but he does love to make shit up, basically, let's be honest. And then he followed that up the next night with the stuff about Qatar being interested in buying Liverpool again because they can't buy United. I don't know where he must have a dartboard at home or a wheel that he spins and throws a dart at it or something to just make up news. But I don't know with regards to Julian Ward. I've not seen anything on it, but I would be very happy if we got a return to some type of continuity like we had before. Felipe Coutinho is off to Qatar on loan for the season. That journey from being an idol at Liverpool to being an also-ran at Barcelona to now no longer not even being good enough for Aston Villa has been a bit of a fall from grace for Felipe Coutinho. Maybe he should have stayed at Anfield and been worshipped and continued to develop as a player, but it will be a cautionary tale, I guess, for other players in the future. We needed the Coutinho money. We did. Nobody's saying that. I'm not saying we didn't do well with the money. I'm saying it didn't work out too well for him, who kicked up a big fuss to get out of the club after giving a guarantee he'd stay for the season, but in January left. So yeah, we did great out of it, don't get me wrong. Club bought in Alisson and Verge money was there. All good for us. I'm glad he went through because that's we got Alisson and Van Dijk, absolutely. And it's not like we had a bad season that year after Coutinho left. Champions League final, if my memory's right. Would I take Gerrard as manager after Klopp leaves? No way. My opinion is Steven Gerrard's fallen a lot over the last 6 months. So no, I don't want Gerrard as manager of Liverpool until such a time as there isn't even a doubt over his credentials. You know, you shouldn't get to manage Liverpool because you were a great player. You should get to manage Liverpool because you are a great manager. And if Steven Gerrard goes on to become a great manager, then it's a dream fit. But he doesn't look like he's going to at this moment in time. So with that regard, no. Not sure if you've covered Jordan Henderson, but he is dead to me. I'm like you. He's dead to me as well, Brian. And I think that interview that he gave to David Ornstein and Adam Crofton is probably made the situation worse for him. I don't think his answers were very good. I think the lads did a great job with the interview. They pushed him and kept bringing back up the subjects we as fans would have wanted asked. So I don't know who he thinks he's convincing though, Brian. Do you know what I mean? You took the money. Just say you went for the money, mate. There's no other reason. You didn't go there to try and build the league because nobody gives a fuck about it, let's be honest. Will Liverpool sell Salah in January? I don't see the value to us in selling him in January. I think they wanted him this window because of the Club World Cup that's taken place in Saudi and the fact that Al Ittihad are in that and it's in December and, you know, that gave maybe the premium to try and get him in now. But you'd hope that he's here till the end of the season. And then at the end of the season, I would expect maybe he moves on. A lot of you guys have been asking about the Anfield Road end over the past couple of weeks. And finally, a little bit more news on this one. So work has again restarted on the Anfield Road stand after Liverpool confirmed that they have appointed Rayner Rowan Construction to oversee the remaining stages. The Athletic write it comes on the back of the Buckingham Group appointing administrators last month and subsequently delaying the full opening, which was initially planned for October. A new completion date has not yet been announced, but the 3-week break in work will inevitably push it further back. Some workers are now back on site and the club will start to produce a revised programme around capacity and phasing of opening. So a little bit of good news. At least, you know, we're back going in the right direction with the Anfield Road end. Do you think politics should come into footballers? So whether we like it or not, Dale, football and politics are entwined now. Just look at the takeover of Newcastle. There was pressure applied to the English government to make sure that Saudi not Saudi takeover of Newcastle went through. And I think one of the journalists on Sky the other day, I think it was either from The Guardian or The Times, said that the Premier League were told to, if you block it, make sure you've got really deep pockets for the legal challenge that's coming. So at this point, I would like to see a real separation between politics and football, because I think it's having too big of an influence on where the World Cups go, without really wanting to get into politics, because it's a very divisive subject. Just look at the amount of money invested in the City of London from outside of Great Britain, and you'll see a pattern of where that money has come from. And with that investment in property and football clubs and all this comes influence. So individual footballers, no, they shouldn't really have anything political to do or say. But I think we'd be naive to think that it doesn't go on at the higher levels. I don't see Haaland as the best player in the world. I see him as an unbelievable striker scoring a shit ton of goals, but I don't see him as the best player in the world. That's just my opinion. He could be. He may very well be at some point, but I don't think he's there yet. He won the treble. And you're forgetting one really important thing here in all of this, is that they're a bunch of cheating fucks. I'll never, ever, 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 ever give Abu Dhabi FC credit for anything they've won until everything is out in the open. None of it. Big dirty asterisks beside every single goddamn trophy that they have won, in my opinion. So, by extension, I'm not giving any of their players any credit